could talk to the animals, just imagine it, chatting with a chimpanzee. Imagine talking to a tiger, chatting with a cheetah. What a neat achievement it would be if we could talk to the animals, learn all their languages, maybe take an animal degree. I'd study elephant and eagle, buffalo and beagle, alligator, guinea pig.
Oh my gosh, that's a real life alligator.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Capitan Theater. My name is Jacqueline, this is Brittany, and this is Fluffy, the American alligator. Now we're with the Wildlife Learning Center, and today we brought along some beautiful animals to show you that live right alongside the brown bears of Alaska. Now, obviously Fluffy does not live in Alaska, but he has become sort of a tradition around here. We just did not feel the show would be as wild without him. Thanks so much, Fluffy. Today, you will be watching a movie about one of the most powerful, intelligent, magnificent species of animals, the mighty brown bear. This movie was filmed in Capitan National Park, which is located in the southern parts of Alaska. This is one of the largest national parks that our country has, and it's over 6,000 square miles. Because it's this big, it's going to occupy so many different types of habitats that are home to various amounts of species of animals and plants. You'll be able to see this throughout the movie, but we decided to bring along some of our furry friends to show you guys up close. So let's get started by meeting our animal friends. First up, we have Gertie. And Gertie is an American porcupine. Porcupines are found throughout the United States, from Alaska to Canada, all the way down to northern Mexico. Now, porcupines are really common in Alaska. And we all know how cold it can get in Alaska, right? Well, no need to worry about these chubby little critters getting cold. They have a really thick layer of adipose tissue, which is just a fancy word for fat, that cover her entire body, and she's got this really nice, warm, thick coat that's gonna keep her nice and warm even during a freezing cold blizzard. Now, porcupines are pretty slow and easygoing, but they're not even an animal that a mighty brown bear would want to tangle with. This is because Gertie has over 30,000 needle-sharp quills that cover her head, her back, her tail, but are not on her belly. As you can see, Brittany will be scratching her belly, and she's not going to get a handful of those quills. So cute, right? Now, it is a common myth that porcupine can shoot their quills, but they cannot do that. These quills are just loosely attached to her body and can easily detach if they come in contact with a predator. So, if a really big brown bear is going to try and make a meal out of Gertie, they are most likely just going to get a mouth full of those quills instead. Now, porcupines are herbivores or plant eaters, and she likes to eat things like leaves and berries and trees. But in the winter time, when the trees shed all of those leaves, porcupines have to eat bark simply because there's no other options. Now, if you can imagine, eating things like bark and twigs is really going to wear down their teeth. But this isn't a problem for porcupines because their teeth never stop growing. In fact, their teeth can grow an inch in just a few short months. Thanks so much, Gertie. Guys, we are ready to meet our next animal friend. This is Nanook, and Nanook is an Arctic fox. Aww. Now, Arctic foxes are found throughout the Arctic Circle of North America, Europe, Asia, Iceland, and even Greenland. Arctic foxes are omnivores, meaning that they eat both plants and meat. Some of their favorite food include rodents and snowshoe hare, and sometimes even seeds and berries if they are available. You can see Nanook up here enjoying some broccoli. That's his favorite treat. Now, these have really beautiful coats. As you can see, Nanook has got a really thick coat. This thick coat is going to help protect him in even freezing temperatures. They have one of the thickest coats of any animal on the animal kingdom. In fact, their coat can keep them warm at temperatures down to -58 degrees Fahrenheit. This white coat also helps them to blend into the white snow where they live. It's called camouflage. They can camouflage really well into the white snow. Now, Arctic foxes love to have really big families. In fact, they can give birth to an average of 8 babies. Sometimes they can even give birth to an average of 15 babies. Now, both mom and dad do help to raise the young, but with that many kids, they could certainly use some help. And they get that help from a big sister that was born the year before that stays with mom and dad to help raise the new litter. Now, these babies grow up really fast, and before they're even a year old, mom and dad have taught them all that they need to survive out in the wild. Now, I know that Nanook looks so sweet and cute, and you just want to bring him home and cuddle with him on your couch, but let me tell you, Nanook does not smell sweet and cute. They have one of the most pungent odors of any animal that I've ever had the pleasure of working with, and I definitely would not want him in my home. We would like to remind you that with Nanook and all the animals that you're going to see out here today, they do not make great pets for a number of different reasons, one of which includes smell. Thank you so much, Nanook and Brittany. So we are going to be bringing out this next beautiful cat on stage. This is Boomer, and Boomer is called a Siberian lynx. Now, Siberian lynxes live right alongside the brown bears, so they can share the exact same habitat and live as neighbors, but they do not compete with each other. They are not competitors. Now, Siberian lynxes are incredibly well adapted to live in really cold temperatures. So Boomer's got a nice, big, thick coat that's gonna keep him nice and warm, even during the freezing cold temperatures of winter. But one of the really cool parts about Boomer's body is that Boomer has really, really, really big paws. And these paws are gonna act like snowshoes, much what we would wear in snow so we don't sink into the snow. It's the same with Boomer. His really big paws help him to very easily walk along the snow so that he doesn't sink in. Now, much like all felines, Boomer is a carnivore, and his favorite things to eat are deer. So Boomer is capable of taking down prey that are 3 to 4 times their body size. Now, Boomer is going to go home, so we're going to go ahead and say goodbye to him. We would like to remind you that even though he is on a leash, these cats do not make very good cats at all, pets at all. You might want to think about keeping them much like a domestic house cat, but these guys can be really, really aggressive and cannot use a litter box. So again, I definitely would not want that in my home. Boomer does not make a good pet, but he likes to eat good pets. All right, guys, so we are going to go ahead and meet our last animal, which is truly, truly magnificent. So please welcome this awe-inspiring symbol of our nation, Dakota, the bald eagle. Now, bald eagles are found throughout our continent, especially high in Alaska. Bald eagles love to live in Alaska because they like to live in areas where there's lots of bodies of water, such as lakes or rivers, because they love fish. That's one of their favorite foods. Now, salmon are abundant in Alaska and are not only a favorite food of Dakota, but also of the brown bear that you will be seeing later on in the movie. Dakota has a 7-foot wingspan that allows her to fly up to an altitude of 10,000 feet while maintaining speeds of over 75 miles per hour. Is that amazing? Now, Dakota here is a juvenile. She's only about 3 years old, and she will not develop that characteristic white head until she's about 5 years old. Bald eagles aren't actually bald, but in biology, bald means white. So bald eagles simply get their name from having that white head. Now, Dakota here was found in Alaska after a pretty bad storm where she suffered a very bad spinal injury. Now, thankfully, rehabilitators were able to nurse her back to health, and she is now completely healthy. But due to that spinal injury, she is no longer able to live out in the wild. So she does enjoy her nice enclosure at the Wildlife Learning Center, where she gets to spend the rest of her days. Now, like I said before, bald eagles are the symbol of our nation. But can you guys believe that bald eagles were once on the endangered species list? Bald eagles, along with Fluffy, our American alligators, and the brown bears were all once on the endangered species list. But thanks to people just like you, our conservation efforts have brought back these species so that their populations are now thriving. This is really great news because that means that if we work really hard to try and conserve our environment, these beautiful animals will be around for generations to come. Do we have any questions at all about our bald eagle or about any of the animals that you guys have seen today?
Stage right.
All right.
How long do they live?
How long do they live? So bald eagles can live up into their late 20s. That is up to their lifespan. So again, like I said, Dakota's only 3 years old. She's a juvenile, so she's still just a baby. We got time for just one more question.
Question stage left.
Can they hurt each other?
Can they hurt each other? So bald eagles aren't really aggressive with each other. They don't often fight in the wild. They absolutely can though. Bald eagles have really, really big talons. Their talons, much like our hands, is 20 times stronger than our hand grip. So these guys are really, really strong. So if they did want to fight, then they could cause a lot of damage to each other. All right, thanks so much, Dakota. Thanks, Brittany. Brittany, I, and all the animals want to thank you for being such a great audience. We really enjoyed meeting you all today, and hopefully you guys enjoyed meeting all of our animals. But it's time for us to fly.
To the sea.